So, good morning, everyone. Now, we'll start with the distance protection of the three-phase line. Up till now, what we have considered, we have been assuming that transmission line is a single-phase line. However, in practice, the transmission line, as you know, are always the three-phase in nature. And three-phase line is subjected to the phase faults as well as the ground faults, as you already know the fact. So, the question that naturally arise are that how we are going to provide the protection against all the different shunt faults. There are 10 shunt faults in the system. So how we are going to provide the protection against all the 10 shunt faults? In what way the CT currents and PT voltages has to be processed? Can a single distance measurement unit look after all the phase faults as well as the ground faults? If no, how many distance measurement units will be required for catering all the 10 shunt faults? Then what will be the setting of the distance measuring units, and whether to measure the positive sequence impedance or the negative sequence impedance or zero sequence impedance. So this consideration these things we have to take into consideration. So diagram here shows the protection of the three-phase line. So the question arises that how we combine these, how we have to combine these so that we can reach a certain conclusion. That is how we can combine all these factors so that we can get the protection scheme for that. Now, however, if you see the diagram from this, you will see that we have to provide. It is observed that we have to provide the separate protection for the phase faults as well as the ground faults. It means that for the phase faults and for the ground faults, so separate protection needs to be provided. For the phase faults as well as the ground faults, the separate protection needs to be followed. And the phase fault, since it is associated with the one pair of phases, are catered by the single distance relay. It is catered by the single distance measuring unit. It is catered by the single distance measuring units, and 3 number of phase fault measuring units can cater for all the 7 phase faults. That is, if we have the 3 number of phase faults measuring unit, then it will cater all the 7 phase faults. So we will have the measuring units, we will have the 3 measuring units in that very case. And for this 3 measuring units, it will cater the 7 phase faults. That is, the number of measuring units are 3, and it will cater 7 faults. Namely, what are the 7 faults? The 7 faults are AB. Then we will have ABG, then we will have BC, then we will have BCG, then we will have CAG, and then we will have the ABC. So AB, ABG, BC, AB, ABG, BC, BCG, CA, one is left. So this we will have 3 measuring units of this, 3 number of phase fault measuring units. It will cater these 7 phase faults. Now each of the 3 ground faults are catered by a separate ground fault measuring unit. So the 3 number of ground fault measuring units can cater for all the 3 ground faults. So phase faults, we have the 3 measuring units. For the ground faults, we will have the 3 units. It means that we will have the 3 ground faults, and which is catered by the separate ground fault measuring unit. So 3 number of ground fault measuring units, it is actually can cater all the 3 ground faults. Now therefore we can say that the 6 number of measuring units are required for protection against all the 10 shunt faults. So we will have the faults, 7 faults are there, then we will have 3 faults, so total faults are 10, shunt faults are 10. And for these 10 faults, how many measuring units are required? 6 measuring units, 6 measuring units are required. So for this we require the 6 measuring units for catering these shunt faults. Now as we know the fact that whenever there is the fault in the system, there are the sequence components in that. So there is the presence of sequence components in voltage and the current during the various faults, wherein it can be seen that the positive sequence component is only the component which is present during all the faults. So as we have discussed that there is the presence of sequence components in voltage and the current during the various faults, and it can be seen that the positive sequence component is present. This positive sequence component, it is present during the all the types of faults, and it would be prudent to measure the positive sequence impedance between the relay location and the fault so as to cater for the every fault. So that we have to positive sequence component also we have to measure. Now let us consider a diagram, and let us consider the phase fault. Now in this case, let us consider that we will have the consider a phase B to C fault. That is, there is a fault in B to C fault, and now the question arises: what combination of the voltage and the current, when fed to the distance measuring unit, will measure the positive sequence impedance between the relay location and the fault point? So this question actually, this can be answered if we analyze the problem with the help of symmetrical components, because during the fault symmetrical components come into play. Now a phase to phase fault can be represented by the parallel combination of positive and negative sequence networks at the fault point, as shown here, that we have you have studied in your power system, that I can assume that you have studied that in your power system. And the zero sequence remains open circuited because it doesn't involve the ground, so the zero sequence component in that very case is 0. Now this is how we this is the equivalent circuit of these, that is, we have the positive sequence component part, and we have the negative sequence part. Now apply the KVL. While applying the KVL to this this equivalent circuit, what we get, if we apply the KVL to this, we will get this that is VA1 minus IA1 Z1 plus IA2 Z1 minus VA2 equals to 0. Now after this manipulation, we will get VA1 minus VA2 divided by IA1 minus IA2, and I am assuming that you know about VA1 and VA2 and IA1 and IA2. Now from this, what we observe? We observe that the ratio of the difference of the positive and negative sequence voltages and currents give the desired value of the positive sequence impedance between the relay location and the fault point. So this is between the relay location and fault point. So the ratio of difference in positive and negative sequence voltages and current give the desired value of the positive sequence impedance between the relay location and the fault point. However, if you see, the sequence component of voltage and currents are not readily available at the relay location, that we already know. So instead, the line voltage and currents are readily available. Sequence components are not readily available. However, the line voltage and currents are available. Now what we have to do, we can manipulate the line voltage and current to get the desired sequence component. So we know the fact that VA equals to VA naught plus VA1 plus VA2. Then we know the fact that VB equals to VA naught plus A square VA1 plus VA2. Then VC equals to VA naught plus A square VA1 plus A square VA2. Now what we get, we want VB, we take the difference of VB minus VC. Let us suppose we take the difference of VB minus VC. So we take the difference of VB minus VC. So VB minus VC is equals to, after mathematical calculations, we are getting A square minus A. I am writing it directly so you can find it out. VA1 minus VA2, and finally from that we will get VA1 minus VA2, which is equals to VB minus VC divided by A square minus A. And similarly, if we want to get for the current, then the current is similar, that is IA1 minus IA2 equals to IB minus IC divided by A square minus A. And therefore finally what we are getting, we are getting VA1 minus VA2 divided by IA1 minus IA2 equals to VB minus VC divided by IB minus IC equals to Z1. Now from this what we observed? We observed that a distance measuring unit with a voltage of VB minus VC, that is VBC, this one. Now a distance measuring unit with the voltage of VB minus VC, that is VBBC, and the current of IB minus IC will measure the positive sequence impedance up to the fault point Z1 in case of phase B to C faults, because we are considering for B to C faults. Similarly, we shall need two more units with the inputs of IA minus IB, with the input of that is VAB, and second IA minus IB, then we have VCA and IC minus IA to cater for the phase A to B and phase C to A fault. So phase A to B and phase C to B, that is C to A false. So the distance measuring unit which cater for the phase AB, BC and CA are known as the phase fault units. So distance measuring unit which caters for the faults AB, BC and CA are known as the phase fault units. Now we have done for the phase fault units. Now we have to do for the ground fault units. Now we have to do the analysis for the ground fault units. For the ground faults. Now, as you know the fact that the ground fault is represented by the series connection of the positive, negative and the this zero sequence equivalent circuit. Now, applying KVL around the loop formed by the series combination of the sequence networks, when we apply the KVL, we will get VA naught plus VA1 plus VA2 equals to IA1 Z1 plus IA2 Z1 plus IA naught Z naught. Now as you know the fact that VA naught plus VA1 plus VA2 equals to VA, and adding and subtracting IA naught Z1 on the right hand side, we get. Now the adding and subtracting this adding and subtracting IA naught Z1 IA naught Z1 on both the sides, and we also know that VA naught, VA1 and VA2 equals to VA. So finally what we are getting, VA equals to IA1 Z1 plus IA2 Z1 plus IA naught Z1. IA naught Z1, and then we will have IA naught Z1 minus then we will have minus IA naught Z1 plus IA naught Z naught. Now after final mathematical manipulation, we are getting the value as IA Z1 plus Z naught minus Z1 into IA naught, and finally we are getting VA equals to IA plus Z0 minus Z1 divided by Z1 IA naught into Z1. However, if you see, then in that very case, if you see, the sum of IA naught is equals to that is IA naught is equals to IA plus IB plus IC divided by 3. Now let us suppose that IA, IB, IC equal to I residual. Then in that very case we have I residual divided by 3, where I residual is actually the residual current. And finally the equation that we are getting is VA is equals to IA plus Z0 minus Z1 divided by 3Z1 I residual into Z1, and then we get the desired impedance. So finally from this equation, the desired value of the impedance, that is Z1, we are getting from this equation. So this is given by, VA divided by IA plus Z0 minus Z1 divided by 3Z1 into I residual. So in the above equation you will see that Z1 appears on both the sides of the expression, and here we will have the Z1, and in this here we will have the Z1. So it is actually a mixed type of expression, and in actual practice there is a definite relationship between the between Z0 and Z1. So for three-phase transmission line, Z0 is equals to 2.5 to 3 times. So there is a definite relationship between this Z0 and Z1. So for a three-phase transmission line, Z0 is actually 2.5 to 3 times the Z1. So the exact relationship actually depends upon the geometry of the phase conductor and the placement of the earth conductors. Now in this scenario, let us assume that Z0 is equals to 3 Z1, and then the above equation becomes, we will have, this is equals to VA divided by IA plus K I residual. So what is the value of the K in that very case? The K in this case is equals to, the value of the K is equals to Z0 minus Z1 divided by 3 Z1. So the phase current has to be compensated with a fraction of the residual current. That is, the phase current has to be compensated with a fraction of the residual current, that is I residual. Now the factor K is known as the this residual current compensation factor. So this is known as the resi current compensation factor, or the zero sequence current compensation factor, or the zero sequence current compensation factor. Therefore the three numbers of distance measuring units with inputs, three number of distance measuring units with inputs that is VA, IA plus KI residual. Then second we have VB, IB plus KI residual. Then VC, IC plus KI residual will be needed. That is, it is coming from this, and it will be needed for catering all the three single line to ground faults. So these units will be known as the ground fault units. So these are known as the ground fault units. Now we have provided the connections for the phase faults and the ground faults. That is whatever the measuring units are required. Now the complete protection of the three-phase line, that is the complete protection of three-phase line. So it can be shown that the phase fault units also cater to the corresponding double line to ground faults. So if phase fault units, it will also cater the double line to ground faults. And in the case of balanced three-phase fault, again, all the phase fall units will respond. So in case of balanced three-phase faults, the phase faults units will also respond. So thus in all the 6 distance measuring units, each set at Z1, the positive sequence of the line section are sufficient for the complete protection against all the 10 shunt faults. So what is it can be observed? That in all the 6 distance measuring units that we have discussed for the phase and the ground faults, each set at Z1, the positive sequence impedance of the line section are sufficient for the complete protection against all the 10 shunt faults, and which is shown in the figure. So from this, for the phase AB fault, BC fault, CA fault, then this ground fault, and the ground fault. So with the combination of this 6 measuring units, all the faults can be catered. That is, it will calculate Z1 and all the faults can be catered, and this is OR gate is used, and this is basically the complete protection of the three-phase line. This is about the complete protection of the three-phase line. Now we will discuss this, as you already know, the fact that this VA, it is coming from V and A, this IA minus IB, it is coming from this, then IBC, it is coming from this, CA is coming from this, then I residual is equals to IA plus IB plus IC, it is coming from this. Then we have the V, AB, BC and CA, it is coming from this. So it's not a big deal. You have already read this thing in your previous lectures. Now we'll discuss what is the reason of inaccuracy of the distance relay reach. Now, reasons for inaccuracy of the distance relay reach. Ideally, we would have liked to set the reach of the distance relay to 100%. The reach of the distance relay, ideally, we have selected as 100% of the line section. However, it is not possible to get the exact reach of 100% in practice. So, not in practice. So, always certain amount of uncertainty and ambiguity about the actual reach. So, various contributing factor for this uncertainty are the ambiguity or inaccuracy of CTs and PTs, then we will have ambiguity about the line parameters, then variation of line parameters with the atmospheric condition, variation with atmospheric conditions, then we will have DC offset in fault current, then transient response of capacitive voltage transformer. So, out of these factors, DC offset and CVT can cause the overreach. It will cause the overreach. Other factors may cause error on either side. So there is always the possibility of the overreach if the reach of the distance relay is adjusted 100%. If it is adjusted 100%, then overreach will cause the loss of selectivity with the distance protection of the next section. So this cannot be tolerated in the extra high voltage lines. So it is usual practice to set the reach of the distance relay to about 80 to 90% of the line section. Reach 80 to 90% of the line section. This leaves 20 to 10% of the line without the primary protection. So this leaves the 20 to 10% of line without primary protection. So a comprehensive scheme of distance protection has evolved, providing the primary protection to the line section under consideration and the backup to the next line section that we discuss in the subsequent lecture. Thank you very much.